Hello, my name is Felipe Perez, and today I'm going to present you the topic I chose about my career, why I like it, why it's important to the world. One of the two of the most important authors of this topic, and that topic is macroeconomics. Is the side of economics that draws more my attention. It started when I was in school, when, like I said in the past video, that uh, I started to look at what oil prices, how do they affect the world, each country, how countries that depend less on oil benefited on this drop of prices, and how countries that depend a lot of oil prices had a great shock. Well, that's what I like it. I started that. Then I went to university and started looking more in depth of what macroeconomics meant, what is important about them, and also reading about models and studies that are really interesting, because sometimes in the university they explain you things or teach you things that really don't apply or you don't see in your life ever. But when you see macroeconomics and see the examples of studies around history, even actuality, it's really interesting how it affects the daily life of every single person. When now naming two of the most important people that contributed to my topic, that would be Frederick Hayek and Milton Friedman, that are my two favorite economists. I have read books about them, and I found the way they see macroeconomics, and not only macroeconomics, it's really interesting, and I like to think the way they think. Or for example, take the definitions and the analysis they have, uh, because you can't base your opinion only on what someone says, but you have to be critical and build your own one. And these two have been two of the most influential names in macroeconomics that helped me build up my my opinion and my knowledge. Well, macroeconomics is a branch of economics that explains the bigger view of different sectors. For example, if you see the oil prices, they affect in a macroeconomical way. They affect even from you using your car, the gasoline prices, or all, and in a bigger way, they affect countries as a whole. For example, if you see how oil prices went down in 2014 to 2016, that they were really low, and because they were in 120 $130, and they went down to like 30 40 $20, and that's a big drop. And Colombia is a big oil country in the economic. For example, oil is how do I put this, like, oil is really important to the economics of Colombia. And when you saw the prices go so low, those years in Colombia, the for example, the GDP went down, or slowed down, for example. You can see that other topics are, you can see how countries throughout history have developed their different industries. You can see how the growth in different continents have differed. For example, a clear example is when you see North Korea and South Korea. They took two different paths of macroeconomical decisions, and you see a prosperous country like South Korea, and a really bad and dictatorship country like North Korea. But it's really interesting seeing how political and economical decisions affect the countries and macroeconomic indicators that show how every step that, or every political decision can make a big impact, and not only in the short term but in the long term. Because sometimes there are macroeconomical decisions that are made today, and you in 5 years, 4 years see like nothing's happening. But when you see results in a bigger and broader way, like looking results in 10, 20, 30 years, you can see how it affects. Another example that I find really interesting is inflation. For example, how you see countries like Argentina, Venezuela that take their central bank as the piggy bank and take money and share it throughout the country, how does that has affected. You can see politicians here in Colombia also thinking that in both sides, like either the left and the right, both are doing are thinking of this, and that's really dangerous because you can see examples all around the world, like Zimbabwe, Germany in during after World War II, Argentina right now, Venezuela right now, countries that they thought that they could just take money from the central bank at zero interest, and that will be like amazing for the economy and nothing will happen, but that's completely wrong. That will make the economy have great inflation and destroy it, for example. And you can see that in the charts how Venezuela was a prosperous country before these economic decisions applied. And like I said, you can sometimes can't see the results in 5 years, 2 years, 3 years, because coming back again to the example of Venezuela, when Chavez was elected, the first years were good, nothing was happening, but he applied those types of politics. And then in a longer term, 20, 15 years, you can see right now how those political decisions have affected Venezuela. The same with Argentina. At the beginning, nothing happened, everything was good, and now 30, 20 years after those decisions, the economy went really bad. And how this is the relation, this topic to my profession, which is really important. I study economics, so macroeconomics is probably the most important subject of economics in how influential it is around the world. And something I think that could help keep developing this topic is, for example, bringing new types of analysis. I think that bringing more of a psychology path is the new breakthrough, because I think the models, mathematical data, it's already like really advanced, but I think that's something that is lacking, that many economists are developing, is neuroeconomics, and that's how understanding the mind of people, not only me or you, but a group of people, how those that affect the economy. I would like to work this on when I graduate, maybe working at a bank. It's really important to make the decisions of investment of a bank, of a company, looking at macroeconomic indicators and looking at political decisions that could affect the macroeconomics of a country. Thank you very much. My name is Felipe, and I hope you understood my explanation. And I will leave the graphs on the email that I sent. Thank you.